It's 1995 and Hifumi Kono has something to prove in a market oversaturated with sports games, and after winning a company contest, sets off to make a game that will change video game horror history forever. Enter Clock Tower. Clock Tower is one of the first and most influential survival horror games, making it a blueprint for major horror classics we know and love today, such as the iconic Silent Hill series, Resident Evil, and Rule of Rose, to name a few. Hello, fellow critters. I'm Batty Bumpkin, but you can call me Batty, and today I wanted to offer a recap of this kooky story and sink my teeth into why the Clock Tower series has remained so iconic after 30 years. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get her to it, shall we? The first entry of Clock Tower, also known as Clock Tower the First Fear, follows a 14-year-old orphan named Jennifer Simpson who's been adopted along with her foster sisters, Laura, Lot, and Anne, by a man known as Simon Barrows and are taken to his mansion in Norway. Their teacher Mary disappears to search for Mr. Barrows, leaving the girls alone. Time passes and things quickly turn dire once Jennifer goes looking for Mary, as the scream can be heard from the main foyer and upon returning finds that all of the girls are now missing too. While exploring the mansion for clues, we can find Laura's corpse hanging in a bathroom or later in a suit of armor in the second living room. If found in a bathroom, we'll get a dramatic first introduction to our main antagonist, the Scissor Man. This game features a total of 9 endings, which add to its replay value, and depending on the player's choices in the first half, we can either find Simon Barrows trapped in a jail cell inside the courtyard, or discover a hidden room full of secrets. If we find the key to the West Wing, Jennifer will eventually end up poisoned and locked in a shed, either by unknowingly drinking a spiked beverage Mary offers in the living room, or by taking one herself from the kitchen cabinet. She wakes up in a jail cell alongside Simon Barrows, the man who adopted her and the other girls. If Jennifer has a slice of ham from the kitchen, she can feed it to Simon, helping him regain his senses. Otherwise, he becomes feral and kills her.
What?
Once lucid, Simon warns Jennifer about something called the Cradle Under the Star that watches her constantly. If Jennifer has a green key found in the West Wing library, she can escape on her own. If not, her friend Lot rescues her but is tragically shot by Mary during the escape. To survive, Jennifer must outwit Mary using a wooden plank, as hiding or fleeing blindly results in death. Side note, finding Simon causes items in a secret room to disappear. Choosing the latter is where we'll discover the secret room and find a medical chart documenting the birth of twins Bobby and Dan Barrows, and a medical bag with a name embroidered on it, Walter Simpson, Jennifer's father, and a very corpse resting in a corner of the room. Investigating his corpse will show us his last memo that explains that he was called to the Barrows mansion in order to assist in the birth of Mary's twins, revealing that Mary is indeed a Barrows, stating that the babies were actually demons, and when they were born, they ate his right hand. Mary couldn't have Walter snitching, so naturally she trapped them in the same room where she delivered her 2 demons, which is where Walter died of suffocation on November 10th, 1986. The same date the memo was written. By the way, thanks to this discovery, it'll make it impossible for Jennifer to be poisoned since she now knows that Mary is evil, and there'll be no way to discover Simon Barrows inside of the jail cell, because he would despawn. While exploring, we can enter the nursery, which will trigger a doll possessed by Dan Barrows to attack us. Defeating it will grant us a key, which will then trigger a chain of events for discovering new items and clues, which will eventually lead us to discovering a small satanic church of sorts, dubbed the Ceremony Room. If you have collected the right items, the demon, idol, and or the specter, you will gain access to the catacombs. But the former is canonical, as it appears in the sequel. Jennifer will then disguise herself with Mary's perfume and a black cloak to sneak past a guard dog and follow a cloaked figure, Mary, into the mansion's deeper areas. If Lot wasn't previously killed rescuing Jennifer, she appears dying at an altar and tells Jennifer how to defeat Bobby using switches in a clock tower. If Lot's already dead, Jennifer must instead piece together this info from the ceremony room. Deeper in the catacombs, Jennifer encounters Dan Barrows.
What the hell is even that?
A grotesque, gluttonous creature known as the Cradle Under the Star. After a chase, Dan is killed in an accidental explosion and Jennifer escapes via elevator. She then confronts and defeats both Bobby and Mary. Depending on who survives and the choices made, the game ends with one of several outcomes, endings S, A, B, or C, some of which tie directly into the sequel. Before Clock Tower, Human Entertainment prioritized sports games since they guaranteed strong sales. But Hifumi Kono, a horror film fan, wanted to create something completely different. When the company held a pitch contest, Kono submitted his idea for a horror game about hiding from a stalker, an idea that won and launched the development of Clock Tower. The game was considered experimental, made by a small team with a tight budget and little internal structure. Initially mocked by some team members, it was later praised when it became successful.
Well, well, well. How the turntables.
Inspired heavily by Dario Argento's Phenomena and Suspiria, Kono designed Jennifer after Jennifer Connelly's character and had a Human Entertainment intern act as a motion reference for her sprite animations. Though originally simple with early versions of the game even featuring zombies, the game evolved into a tense exploration-based experience with a protagonist who couldn't fight back, a concept unheard of at the time. Well, she does fight back, a multitude of times, actually. But I digress. Clock Tower's eerie, almost silent atmosphere, creepy 2D mansion design with 3D logic, and chilling sound design were all groundbreaking, though many features like mouse support and animations were cut due to time constraints. Later ports like First Fear and fan mods such as Clock Tower Deluxe restored or enhanced these elements. The game officially takes place on its release day, September 14, 1995. If you're a horror fan, especially of old school horror games such as these, you've probably already heard of Clock Tower as it's been covered to death. But I wanted to make a video on it because I've always adored the series. Well, specifically the first one. I've never played the second nor the third, but I definitely plan to, as I've had fond memories of playing the first on the snes in my granny's den. Despite the initial doubt during early development, the Clock Tower series was a success and went on to span several titles. Clock Tower, aka Clock Tower 2, released for the PlayStation Classic in 1996, The official sequel, Clock Tower 2 The Struggle Within, or Ghost Head, released for the PlayStation Classic in 1998, which has been notoriously panned due to its frustrating gameplay. Yeah. And Clock Tower 3 released for the PS2 in 2002. Later, the series spawned two spin-offs, The Hunting Ground for the PS2 in 2005 and Night Cry for the PC in 2016. Apparently, the series was set to be adapted onto the big screen in 2008, with little known of its development. Other than that, it faced multiple setbacks, pushing the release date to 2013. Actresses Brittany Snow, Louis Lombardi, Milla Jovovich were originally cast in the film, and the film was meant to be directed by David R. Ellis, who has directed movies such as Snakes on a Plane and Final Destination 2 and 4, but was later found dead in his hotel room in Johannesburg, South Africa, on January 7, 2013, leaving the film without a director and the fate of the movie unknown. But in other news, in October of 2024, the game received an enhanced port for the PC, Clock Tower Rewind, which was released onto Steam and 8th to 9th gen consoles such as the PS5, with popular gaming source WayForward highlighting new features such as a new animated opening, motion coming cutscenes, and vocal theme songs performed by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn and Emmy Evans, and some behind-the-scenes content. There's also the ability to choose between the classic original mode or the enhanced rewind mode, which features numerous gameplay additions and quality of life refinements, whatever that means. If you played this game, did you enjoy it? And if you played the rest in the series, do you feel like it holds up as the best? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay batty!